Hello everybody, welcome to the Carlos X360 channel. Today we're going to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and skill-based matchmaking. Today we're going to do that part and everything else because the game came out and what you're watching in the background is gameplay from the Black Ops 7 beta. Okay? So, the short review of Black Ops 7 from my vantage point where I stand, the game looks good. The problem is the character models look ugly. It's weird. But the game actually plays pretty well. Here's me laying prone, trying to be like a war hero or something. The game plays pretty well. It's like the old Call of Duty games. The problem is not the core gameplay. It's not the core game. The beta was good. And the full game plays pretty similar. The problem comes when skill-based matchmaking is turned on. The first few days of the beta, it was playable. I was having fun, but then it got turned up a little bit. Turned up. And then a few days later, more players came into the game, and then skill-based matchmaking went berserk. Because when I first played, it was like fun. I was having fun. But as time progressed, skill-based matchmaking went up. Okay? As soon as I was playing. And I don't have a problem with the game by itself. I do have a problem with the crazy bunny hopping stuff. It makes the game a little bit more sweaty. So when you combine the sweatiness of players, the gameplay, and skill-based matchmaking into one place at the same time, you have a bad time as an and I'm not calling myself an expert. I'm a average good player. I'll just say that. That's my humble, you know, idea. So the game is good. Problem is skill-based matchmaking. There's gonna be people who say skill-based matchmaking is not the selling point of Call of Duty. You're right, it's not. Because it was never there in the first place. It was never there in Call of Duty 4. It was never there in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 even. It was never there. When it got exposed, it was around Modern Warfare 2019, which is also a good game. It was not as egregious as Modern Warfare 2 2022 game. That game was so soulless. So that's where we're at with the review of the game. I did a hands-on with the game, and I did not do a video on it because I just can't get past SBMM. I just can't. I'll get to that section of the video in a minute, but what I'm saying is I can't do previews or reviews without talking skill-based matchmaking because it's the elephant in the room. It's the little noggin in your mind that says there's a AI right there in your player character. Like right here, I'm having a little fun here, being like Battlefield. This is basically Battlefield 6 style gameplay, and I'm in the middle of the map, um, laying prone on my back with my guns up. I had fun. That was a good map, and I got a good game out of this. And another player was using a kill streak right there. Look at that. That's a kill streak. So, yeah. The game is good. The problem is everything else. And I'll get to that in a minute. Right about now. Alright, so from here on out, I'm gonna do a reaction to Tdawgsmitty here. So if Battlefield outsold Call of Duty this year, it's very good and very bad at the same time. It's good because competition will require Call of Duty to go above and beyond to deliver a good product at launch next year. It's bad because next year is an Infinity Ward title, and if they have complete control of the direction, we may be in big doo-doo. And I agree. And this is what I responded with, okay? He won't recognize this because, look, this guy has 384,000 views, okay, for that post, okay? My post is this. Well, if I was Activision or Microsoft, I would put a fire to Infinity Ward's ass, because that's it. What other excuse can use from here? If Modern Warfare 4 bombs at launch, and it will, what then? What is Microsoft going to do? My guess is they'll fire the Infinity Ward team and the head honchos that greenlit the SBMM bullshit. We're in a gaming crash. Call of Duty is dying. Treyarch tried their shot. Sledgehammer Games did do their best. I'll talk about that in a minute. Microsoft is sabotaging everything Activision is doing and is still doing. Microsoft is sabotaging everything Call of Duty teams were doing and is doing. $70 billion in the toilet. If I'm Microsoft, you fucker in office, get out. You're fired. And I used the Vince McMahon meme. Vince McMahon has this persona where he talks to the camera and says, "You're fired," to all employees. It's a gimmick, okay? So, my post got 5,300 views. Okay? So, let's go back to what I said here. On this channel, I've already talked about we're in a gaming crash. I've already talked about it. Call of Duty has been dying for years, and I've already talked about it on this channel because of SBMM and AI. I've already talked about that. Now, the stuff that I have not talked about is Sledgehammer Games did try their best. I have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I'm talking about 2023, not 2010, something like that. I don't know what year it was. Anyway, so Sledgehammer Games did a great job with that game in both updates, support, and they went on social media like X/Twitter, however you call it. Anyway, so Sledgehammer Games has been the most proactive team in Call of Duty right now. Treyarch tried their shot and did do similar things, but then they do the wrong things also. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay? Microsoft has been sabotaging what Activision was doing and is still doing, because Microsoft has been telling their employees to use AI in any way or in any way, shape, or form. There you go. I think I said that perfectly. So they have to use AI in any way that they can. Okay? And their decisions also sabotaged what Activision is doing and has been trying to do. What's doing, still is doing, so it's a process. So, Game Pass prices went up. So, players can't play Call of Duty even if they buy Game Pass for any tier, because the prices are too high. And some say you are better off buying the game regardless, if that's the case. Okay? Because Game Pass is about the price of a video game. What a lot of people don't understand is I liken Game Pass to a buffet. So you have a lot of game choices on the screen, and then you make your choice, you do whatever you're going in there, and you have a bunch of choices. That's a buffet. And yeah. So, Call of Duty teams. 2019 was Modern Warfare. So that year it was, we didn't see SBMM as a problem then, because it was brand new at the time. The only problem that we had at that time, it was the small glitches, the small lag compensation issues, the server issues, this and that and the other. So, and the other side of it is the small decisions that led to 2019 having backlash, but it didn't make a big dent yet. So anyway, red dot on the mini map on the other side of the corner, this corner. So red dot was gone, and they said put it back on and do it for this kind of player and this, that, and the other. The development team went back and fixed it. They did this other feature. It's a back and forth issue that a lot of customers think why did you remove that feature that was there in the first place? Why? It made no sense. So when Modern Warfare 2 2022 came out, they removed 90% of the issues that were there in the first place. So we went from 2019 to 2022 with slow-paced gameplay. The kill streak don't work very well. The texture streaming was a big thing at that time, and then the lag compensation was a problem, and then this problem has a problem, then this problem has a problem. It's a whole thing. Vanguard was released. That was panned at launch. Cold War came out. It was kind of okay. Didn't pan out very well. It was a lot of issues. It's a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What ticked everybody off? It was Modern Warfare 2, 2022, and it spiraled out of orbit. It went downhill from there. Okay? A lot of people bought Modern Warfare 3 2023 and did not really have that much problem with it, except for the little stuff like server issues. So then, once people figured out that SBMM was turned up in Modern Warfare 3, talking about 23, that's when the next game bombed at launch. So Black Ops 6 did not sell very well. And it's because of the glitches, the skill-based matchmaking, and the server issues, bunch of other issues. And the controls felt wonky, janky, weird. I don't know what you call it. And then we're now here at Black Ops 7. The lowest selling game of all time in Call of Duty history at this point. Beating even Infinite Warfare. Okay? So when Infinite Warfare was released, I don't even know where to start. Because first of all, I believe Infinite Warfare was a good game. It was. It was. Beautiful. Beautiful campaign, beautiful graphics, beautiful maps, beautiful weapons, beautiful storyline. It's an open world, kind of, a little bit. I mean, how you feel like it, I don't know. But it was a good game. It's not perfect, but it's a good game. That campaign, especially when you get to the end of the game, chef's kiss. A lot of people missed the game. The end credits was so innovative that I don't even know a lot of people saw that. Okay? So that happened. Good game. Multiplayer, as a matter of fact, it was buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. It was when you go into the Infinite Warfare lobby, the gameplay is so smooth. You would think the game is running at 120 frames per second, like buttery smooth. If we can get that kind of gameplay in new Call of Duty games, we're good. I'm good, as a matter of fact. So that's what it is. But 90% of the player base don't like it. Didn't buy it, didn't care, none of that. But in my opinion, it was a great game. But the problem is, at this point, Infinite Warfare was a Activision problem. Okay? Advanced Warfare, futuristic game. Black Ops 3, futuristic game. Infinite Warfare, futuristic game. And then the next one was twofold. Futuristic game, online only. So my point is, Activision went futuristic 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. Did not have the foresight to say, hey, we need to change this game a little bit. Everything is too late. It's too late. So they just sent it out, sell it, done. So that's where we're at. Now, in the next section, I'm going to talk about the preview. 1 second. Alright, welcome back. So, here is online connectivity section of my preview of Black Ops 7. See? That's my preview. It says hands-on with the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 open beta, PlayStation 5. Okay? So we go down. I got videos here and spoof. Online connectivity. I'll be upfront here. Online connectivity for the most part is crisp. There is little to no lag, little glitches, issues when it comes to Call of Duty Black Ops 7 online gaming. I experienced some glitches, some crashes, and not a whole lot. You may think this is good, but this is an open beta. I do not know how the game is going to play at launch. During the beta, SBMM was turned on about a day into early access part of the beta. I was having fun with the game in the first few matches of Black Ops 7. And then it felt like something switched in the next few matches. This ramping up of the SBMM feels similar to Modern Warfare 2's. Well, I'm talking about 2022 here. So, open beta. Good the first weekend, but turned harder in the second weekend. But the difference between that beta and this beta is the early access and the open beta was all the way through the whole week until the next week. I'll talk about it later. Okay? Here's mixed feedback. I still maintain that Call of Duty in general doesn't need SBMM. During the early access and the open beta, Treyarch launched a mode called Open Mosh Pit, with open mosh pit, the skill-based matchmaking was less of a factor according to Treyarch. But as a long-time player, I couldn't get good gameplay. I was playing well at first, then all of a sudden it got harder and harder. I learned during the beta, that your previous experience carries over from game to game, match to match, as if they were testing your skill. Now, I will turn to the maps themselves and the gameplay. I've played Call of Duty Black Ops 3. We didn't have a lot of sliding, a lot of jumping around, and at that time, there was a larger pool of players. Everyone had a different gameplay style. Okay. Call of Duty has conditioned players to slide, jump, and whatever else to break other players. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is very sweaty. Very, very sweaty. That's with open mosh pit turned on. That's the gameplay part of online connectivity and SBMM wrapped into one place. I will now turn to map design because the map design utilizes the jump mechanics a lot. So naturally, the conditioned players are sliding and jumping all over the place like it's candy. So the skill gap got wider, wider, and wider. Treyarch says open mosh pit is the default matchmaking in Call of Duty Black Ops 7 as open matchmaking. In my mind, though, I don't believe Activision or Treyarch as much as I throw them. At the core, see, replay value. This is where I put replay value, okay? At the core, as I said before, at the core, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is a good Call of Duty game. I mean at the core. Gameplay is tight. Gameplay is fast, fluid, fierce, and clean. Hit detection is hit or miss. I haven't learned the little nuances of gameplay like perks, the little stuff. Mostly because I'm looking at gameplay and SBMM to bring this preview. But however, the little time I had with the perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 7, I liked it. It's nice. The overload mechanic is a nice addition to the gameplay. I quite like it. So, as I said here, Call of Duty Black Ops 7's early access went from October 2, October 2nd to October 5th. Okay? Call of Duty Black Ops 7's open beta went from October 5th to October 8th, 2025. Okay? Call of Duty Black Ops 7's beta was pretty short. Early access was 4 days. Open beta was 4 days, but Treyarch extended the open beta for 1 extra day. I enjoyed the long stretch of gameplay, but did not have fun with SBMM turned on. I don't know what was going on with the experience, but I do not like the sweaty nature of Call of Duty today. As far as the core Call of Duty Black Ops 7 multiplayer experience, I can say I like the game. That is, if you removed SBMM/EOMM entirely, or at least 50% less strong. A lot of players had different experiences than I did. I honestly don't like the manipulation of gameplay. And that's the hands-on of my review. So, I was going to say, I can't do previews without thinking about SBMM or AI. And when we say AI, we're not talking about enemy AI versus you. We're talking about generative AI versus the other AI or players. So, as I already discussed on other videos, I'm going to link it down there in the description. Anyway, so look, your player character. Okay, hold on. Your player character, when you play a video game on this controller, your player character is an AI. Okay? This player character is controlling you on how you play the game. Okay? That's why when you guns up and you use your bullets to attack other players, they manipulate how the bullet penetration works. So in the middle of the match, they will change how the gameplay works while you're playing the game. That's why it's not good manipulation. Next part is going to be a reaction to Tdawgsmitty in a minute.
Hey, Call of Duty. Well, my voice is back, and I think it's time we have a little sit-down talk once again. I want to talk to you guys a little bit because I'm going to be honest with you. I've been seeing the tweets, and pretty much this one kind of, I got to be honest with you, as a Call of Duty guy, it kind of shocked me. Black Ops 7 launch weekend sales were 50% lower compared to Black Ops 6 in Europe across physical and digital sales. BO7 sales are 63% lower than Battlefield 6. And what I was going to next before I read that second line there was Battlefield came out the other day and pretty much said, we are the number one shooter or number one game, I can't remember what they said, something like that, in the world. And usually Call of Duty kind of comes out and says the exact same thing when they release their game. Thanks for making this the most played. Thanks for making this the greatest launch ever. And this time they were just kind of like, hey guys, thanks for picking up Black Ops 7 and all feedback is welcome. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we're going to do. We're going to give some more feedback because I actually put out a tweet the other day, and at the time of recording this video, it has 1 million views. Now, I don't know how that happened. I guess it just resonated with everybody. So I'm pretty much going to go over what I said in this tweet. And what this tweet is, I think this is a game plan for Call of Duty, not in the near future, in the ASAP future. Now, the problem is it probably won't be able to happen with BO7 because content is planned months in advance and the game probably is what it's going to be. And let me say something to you guys real quick. I know I've ripped the campaign because that was offensive and it was terrible, but I don't hate the multiplayer and I don't hate the zombies. I think both of them are decent products. The problem is, like I've said in other videos, you can't go back to back to back to back. You can't.
So far, Tyler is correct. That's Tdawg's real name. So, Tyler's correct. The game is good. The problem is everything else. As I said before, multiplayer is good. Just it's everything else. Okay.
Have two Modern Warfares and MW3 does terrible because it's the fatigue. And then do the exact same thing, especially after BO6 was just so hated, especially by me. What they did with that game was disgusting. So yeah, there's fatigue. There's Call of Duty fatigue, and you know I can't blame people for having this fatigue. So I really want to use my platform that I have from.
So for those of you who don't know what happened is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022. Well, in the middle there was, I think, Cold War. I have to double check, but that's what it is. So they went like a pattern for a little bit, and then from 2022 to 2023, it was Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and then the year after, it was Black Ops 6, and then now it's Black Ops 7. So 2 games back to back, each game title. So the second game is basically a DLC. So that's where we're at now.
You guys, which I really appreciate every single day. I kind of want to give you my thoughts, and I want to give you my thoughts. And a reminder, I actually don't mind this product that we have right now, but you can't burn people that many times in a row and expect people to keep coming back. It just is what it is. So I put out this tweet. Now we're not going to show you the whole tweet because I want to go through these point by point. Now let me read what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points, and we'll go over every single one. So I started this tweet off with Call of Duty is getting outsold by Battlefield, which is number one. That's another thing. That's an insane thing to say. We never thought that would happen. So let me give you my real opinion on what Call of Duty should do next. So my first point was very, very simple, and I think most of you guys will agree with this. Let the Black Ops and Modern Warfare series rest forever. Not rest for 3 years and then bring it back. Not rest for 5 and bring it back. Forever. We are now on Black Ops 7. If you would have told me in 2012 that we would have gotten to 7, I would have thought you were insane. And, let's look over on the other side, the Modern Warfare side. Once we get the next Call of Duty, which is rumored to be Modern Warfare 4, that will be the 7th Modern Warfare. So we've hit 7 on both Black Ops and Modern Warfare. It's done. We have beat.
I somewhat agree with this, somewhat, to a point. Because Black Ops has gone off to the deep end, and it shows in both Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. The problem with Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 is, from a campaign standpoint, is the story is not even that interesting. I did play Black Ops 6, the campaign, and it was through a chance lucky free trial part of the game. So Black Ops 6 was offered as a free trial for about 2 weeks, I think, give or take. I don't remember. I don't care. That's not my point. So my point is, I did a playthrough of that game on my second channel, which is a gaming channel. I'll link it down there in the description with the playlist. Go there, see it, whatever you want. If you want it. I don't care. That's not my point. My point is, I played through Black Ops 6. So, for the most part, Black Ops 6 is kind of a nice campaign until you get to the mind-bending area of the game. Okay? So, a little bit of a storyline spoiler here, but you got exposed to a toxin. So that gas toxin gave you lucid dreams, gave you hallucinations, gave you like not dreams but zombies as okay in the storyline. The zombies are basically characters in the game but masquerading as mind bending zombies. Okay, so those zombie characters are real people, but they are zombies. So in that world, your battle is against the other side. So once you get to a point of the storyline, it takes you into the other side, and then you're able to battle your inner self. That's the way I interpret it. Yeah, see, that's what they want you to do. They want you to interpret the storyline as it's happening. So, in that storyline, at the end of the game, you are inside the other side and you have to defeat that other side to get the complete storyline of the woman that you just arrested. So that woman um is in the mind bending world, and she tries to escape her childhood. It's a trauma. So in that world, she escaped her trauma and then battled against the demons inside her mind, and the demons in her mind is lost. So on the other side of that coin, she feels more angry and goes against um, anybody who's in that world. So then, right after that, the game goes back to the realistic lifestyle, but you arrested her and she uh, becomes something else. I don't know. I don't remember. It's a forgettable storyline because it's going back and forth between realistic and then the mind bending world, which is a trademark kind of thing. That's what they think. But the thing is, the classic Black Ops games are designed in the words of David Vonderhaar. Okay? David Vonderhaar, the way he designed the games is the campaign, it's its own storyline. Okay? The zombies area, it's its own storyline. And then multiplayer, it's its own storyline. But the problem is with Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 is the storyline is interchanged from, and he's going to say this in a bit, but the thing is, the storyline in Black Ops 6 translate from the campaign to the zombies mode and sometimes into multiplayer. They all have a cohesive storyline. And then Black Ops 7 went off the deep end and brought in things that people thought was too far. It's going too far to doing the Fortnite ification of Black Ops 7 or Call of Duty in general. So there's a clip on, and he's gonna play it in a minute. So in that world, you can battle big bosses like a Groot, a I don't know what you call it, a like a plant that is a monster, and then you're gonna battle a big Menendez. The game went to the other side, bro. So I don't disagree with the Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6 kind of reset to zero kind of thing. Drop Black Ops. I agree with that. But Modern Warfare is where it's at. The problem is, as he said, both brands have been tarnished. It's destroyed. They're gonna have to drop the brands at some point. But the development of pardon me, I'm confusing myself. Sorry, guys. So anyway, my point is, what I'm trying to say is, Modern Warfare can be salvaged, but they have to do it the right way. Okay? You can make a Modern Warfare 4, but the problem is the brand has been damaged. I agree with him on that. I don't necessarily think that they need to do a reset on Modern Warfare. I just think they just need to be more careful about Modern Warfare, since that's their baby of all of the Call of Duty games. That's their baby. They trademarked not just Call of Duty, they also trademarked the actual Modern Warfare name. It's a trademark. You can sell it as a movie if you wanted to. But the problem is, as a game, it's tarnished. I agree a little bit with him on this, but I think from a marketing standpoint, I think Modern Warfare 4 is possible. The problem is, you have to be careful, because you're gonna alienate all these people. Okay? And they're not gonna remove skill-based matchmaking, because that's just because the service problem has already been fixed in Black Ops 7. It's already been fixed. They moved to the Azure servers during Black Ops 7 development. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's why they bought Call of Duty. Because what they want to do is make Azure usable. They want Azure to be popular. They want the services to be popular. The problem is, Microsoft is sabotaging everything. Okay? The acquisition is not a bad business decision. It's not a bad thing. The problem is, they keep sabotaging everybody around them. The Game Pass price increase only pushed people away. And then when you say quality don't matter, you push a lot of people away. So the quality of Call of Duty games went downhill. Everybody's seen it. So let's keep going.
These names down to a pulp. Nobody cares about them. I said it in my review. The characters that we grew up with Black Ops, with Menendez and Mason, and there's a lot of newer players that just don't care about these people. And again, the older crowd like myself, I don't know if I care about them anymore because we've just been in this series forever. There's not somebody new. And I said it last time, is like why I liked Adler in Cold War was that it was a new character. And look how well people like kind of clinged on to him and made him like an iconic character, and then they kind of threw him away in BO6. People don't care about him. We need a fresh, new area, or maybe we go back. You know, I know World War II always is hated, but you got to make a good World War II game. You can't make Vanguard, okay? No wonder people don't like World War II. I wouldn't like World War II either. The people that grew up on World at War, you know what a good World War II game is. So I'm not saying that's the area that we...
Okay. I'm gonna agree and disagree with Tyler here. I think we need a new storyline. I agree with that. We need new stories. We need new characters. I agree with that 100%. We don't need to go back to World War II. No, I disagree with that. I do think we need to go back to something like Modern Warfare, like the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War. There's a lot of that hasn't been explored. I'm saying this as a Call of Duty 4 player. Call of Duty 4 had a sequel, but it's not the same storyline in Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4. If I were Activision, I would go back to Afghanistan/Iraq and go balls to the wall and do a storyline in Iraq. It's 20 years since 9/11. There's nothing that's controversial about it anymore. And I would also argue the airport scene is not controversial anymore. Those, you know what? Let me play a little bit more. Let me go for a little bit. Hold on.
Setting is probably the best bet, and it's why I've actually tweeted a couple times. Hey, I don't know how the branding is for Modern Warfare 4. I don't know if it's fully established or anything like that. But if we can maybe change that to be titled something else, you know, Civil War or something like that, where we can be in a modern setting, because
I agree with that too. They kind of did this with Black Ops 6, especially with the marketing of Black Ops 6. So, Black Ops 6, the whole storyline is based around the 90s, when President Clinton, okay? President Clinton was president, or was about to be president. So that storyline in Black Ops 6 is basically Clinton administration before he became president. So in that storyline, they got it right. The whole thing is bro, I agree with him, because Black Ops 6 was the perfect time to use that Civil War mentality. We're in that storyline right now. Every game company is brainwashed. Every film company is brainwashed. YouTube is brainwashed. Twitch is brainwashed. I can go on and on. It's we are right in the middle of a Civil War storyline right now. Right here, right now, this time, today, right now, as I record this video. He's right. Make a Call of Duty Civil War video game. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee you that's gonna sell because everybody understands what's going on. Everybody understands what Civil War is and what it's going. I recommend the same thing. I agree. Right here. I agree. 100% agree. Modern Warfare, do it. Modern Warfare 4, do it. Civil War, do it. I agree. Do a storyline based around Civil War, do that. They did it with Black Ops 6. I don't know why they didn't do the whole storyline. It was the perfect time to do it. The perfect time to do it. Why didn't you do it? Sorry, let me press play. I'm used to the TV. Sorry, guys.
I do think modern setting is the one that'll sell the best. It's just got to be a new story. It's got to be a new story. And for that,
I agree.
I think you just got to let these guys go. You got to let it be what it is. 7 Black Ops, 6 Modern Warfares, or 7 Modern Warfares when the new one comes out. And hopefully Sledgehammer's Call of Duty is a brand new title. But again, that's 2 years away. Let's move on to the next point. First point, let them go away. I'm calling. Sorry. Voice is coming back, still coughing. My next point is another simple point, honestly. Go back to classic boots on the ground Call of Duty. No omni
Yes,
movement,
I agree. 100%. 100%.
Where positioning means something. And
Agree.
one of the replies I got to this, I had to fight back on this one a little bit. You know, it was, isn't that what they did in Modern Warfare 2, the new one? And I would say to you, no. It was a complete
Hell no.
That game
Hell no.
the name itself. And the reason it sold so well was it was coming after one of the...
I agree with this too.
You know, MW19 brought back so many people to the franchise. And MW2 had the hype of like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what they do next. Plus, it's titled MW2. So that game had had everything working for them. They had every sort of advantage possible, and they just absolutely crapped the bed when they released that product. You talk about BO7 having a dip of players. Go look at when Warzone 2 came out and when the game is happening like a year later. Look at that dip, and it's never been able to recover. So this game had boots on the ground. It was, you know, back to that old school movement, and positioning did mean something. The problem is there was a lot of other stuff in this game, like Dead Silence being a field upgrade where you couldn't put it as a perk, where there was muzzle flash and you couldn't see anything in front of you. There was a ton of recoil, which is not.
I agree. I agree with that.
I mean, the footsteps just being louder than elephants.
I agree with that too.
It's just crazy. No red dots on the mini map. I forgot about that one. There's probably other examples. I can probably keep going. But on top of that, the small movements were very slow. So, like, if you look back and you look at MW2, the old school MW2, and the new one, if you tried to drop shot, if you could compare the both of them drop shotting, you will see how slow MW2 was. So whenever I heard somebody go, this is just like...
This is Modern Warfare 2.
No, it's not.
This is the new one.
Had zero muzzle flash in old school.
That's the old one.
MW2. You could drop shot super fast. You could
speed,
jump shot, and you couldn't do
aggression
of that in MW2. Jeez Louise, man.
So I agree with him with 90% of what he said, and especially with the movement. The movement in Modern Warfare 2022, I have to say 2022 every single time because we're talking about two different games, bro. That's why... That game is so soulless that you can't even say Modern Warfare 2. You can't even say it. Modern Warfare 2022. It's so slow that it just messes with your head. Why did we go from Modern Warfare 2019 to Modern Warfare 2 2022? What happened? Jesus.
I'm talking about mimicking that golden age Call of Duty, where it wasn't sliding around, it wasn't jump shotting a ton, it was majority guns up, and you kind of just picked your spots, and that's why I think M19 was so successful, because that's kind of what it was, minus a few other things here, but it brought you back to that classic, like, I'm gonna camp, or I'm gonna chill, or I'm gonna rush, but there wasn't like this crazy sliding all over the place. And it got to that point eventually, and that's when, MB2 nerfed everything because it got so sweaty. So I saw the vision there, but, they just need to find a balance. BO7 and BO6, I think the sliding is it's still too much. BO7, you're sliding all over. Like, go watch a game of BO7. People are sliding nonstop. And it's like, it's just not what people want anymore. Especially adding 120 FOV, the 9 to 5 dads are going to look at that and go, man, I'm good. I don't feel like sweating like that at all. Holy crap, dude. And you really can't blame them. I mean, I think that's why you've seen Arc Raiders do well. You've seen Battlefield do well. It's very simple movement. There's not a lot of craziness to it. It's gun first. Gun first gameplay is what's going to get the job done. And hopefully MW4 can bring that. Now, next up is something that I feel like a lot of people don't think about with Call of Duty, but it's super important to the game. And this is make a great campaign that influences the rest of the game. And what do I mean by that? Back in my day, you would get a campaign and it would set the tone for how the rest of the game was played. Black Ops 1, you're in the chair, you start the campaign, you're in the chair. In COD 4, you get this eerie feeling when you boot into the menu, and it's like, okay, something's about to happen. And then you're in as a modern day soldier, and then you learn about price, and then you play the campaign and you go through levels, where it's like Crossfire. You play Crossfire in the campaign, and you're like, oh, I played this, and now I played this, and I remember that. And World at War is my biggest example for this, and that's what I said in the tweet. World at War. Airfield was one map that was used 3 separate times. It was the first ever zombies map, it was a multiplayer map, and it was a level in the campaign. But each one of them had their own tone to what they were trying to do. And you knew which one was a campaign part of it, you knew which one was a multiplayer part of it, and you knew obviously what the zombies wanted. It was dark, it was cloudy out, it was foggy. And to me, that all connects the game together, and it makes you feel like you're learning these people. You learn about Task Force 141, you learn about Reznov, and you learn about Woods through the stories. And then when you see the stories that you play out, and you're inside of those in the multiplayer, it just ties in everything so well. And this year, there's no tie-in. Last year, there was really no tie-in. MW3, there was no tie-in. Really, the last time you semi-cared about a campaign was Modern Warfare 2, and most people will tell you that campaign was okay. The last two that I can think of was Modern Warfare 19 and Cold War, especially with M19, because you learned about Alex and you learned about the, Task Force coming back. And a lot of the maps that you played in multiplayer were missions that you did inside the campaign, like the old school Call of Duties. So it just makes you care about the story, and that's why a lot of people cared about Warzone in the beginning, because the story continued on from beating the campaign to the actual Warzone setting, and like, oh, there's something going on in Urzikstan, or there's something going on in Verdansk, and we got to go there, and it's like.
Speaking of Warzone, especially Uzbekistan, the reason why Warzone worked is not just because of Modern Warfare 2019, but it was also because Warzone was genuine. It felt passionate. It felt like the developers designed Uzbekistan to be this beautiful battle royale game that has points of interest that you can go to do whatever. If you want to do Easter eggs over there, go for it. If you want to go to points of interest where those points of interest have AI, I have to say that, and because it works in Modern Warfare. I mean, Warzone 2.0, where there's like points of interest with AI in it, and those AI battled against you. But the problem is, those AI were too hard to battle against, while you have all. It is a whole thing, but what I'm saying is, Uzbekistan was beautiful. There's a lot of points of interest, and they got it right in the updates that follow. Um, there was even like vacant at one point. There was Modern Warfare maps from years ago, and people went like, "Oh, I remember this. I remember that." He's right. I agree with that. As far as the rest of the storyline, that doesn't make me a hypocrite. I'm saying is for the Black Ops 7 storyline, they bled the crazy storyline into multiplayer, and multiplayer looks like a Fortnite wannabe. That's not what people want. Let's keep going.
Like, oh, so now I'm booting into Warzone feeling like I have an objective. And once again, it tied it all together.
I agree.
MW19 did a great job of tying the entire modes together: multiplayer, campaign, and even Warzone. So that to me is something that's missing. Now we just see a big old boss fight of Harper, and we're like,
see,
Harper
look at that
from BO2, but he wasn't that. And this mission has nothing to do with anything that I've done in multiplayer or zombies. So I'm checked out. Now, next up is.
To be fair, this thing was in Black Ops 6 as a story. It was not this crazy, but there was like hands. It's you have to play Black Ops 6 to understand what happened here, because this is the mind-bending part of the game. So my point is, this happened in Black Ops 6. Not the same degree, but it happened. A lot of casuals will not understand what this is and why this happened. You would have to play Black Ops 6 to understand this one. And even he's saying it doesn't connect to the rest of the game either. But if you see the new maps, there are some parts like the one of the maps have like a ship, and there's like a mind bending suck up. I don't know.
It wasn't that. And this mission has nothing to do with anything that I've done in multiplayer or zombies. So I'm checked out. Now, next up is a very simple one. And I think we're all kind of in agreement in this one as well. Nostalgia, it needs a break. Pretty much what I said in this part of it, I said stop using old maps, stop using old guns, and stop using old stories to sell your next game. And I feel like BO7 is kind of a case of that, where it's a couple maps from BO2. It's a sequel to BO2. There's Mason, there's Menendez, there's Harper, people from BO2. But if it doesn't really do anything to advance a story or complete a story, people just don't care. And then you bring back like the MSMC and you bring back the M8, and the MSMC is terrible. So you're kind of ruining the legacy of the MSMC alongside of it. Now the M8's pretty good, but again, when we get fresh guns, and that's what made, I keep going back to like MW19 and Cold War, because I feel like that was the last two that kind of did this. Can you think of how many iconic guns were in those games? I think you can. The Grau, MP7, MP5, the HDR, the...
Actually, Tyler, they can't. Tyler, they can't. They are legally obligated to use different weapons now more than ever. They can't use realistic guns anymore. They got a lawsuit from a gun manufacturer because they don't want their likeness in the game, and then this and that and the other. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. They can't do it, bro. They can't. So they changed the names. They changed the style of the weapons to be like those weapons, but they can't use the same style weapon. So you don't have MP5 anymore because MP5, the corporation that makes MP5 told Activision, say, give us money. Give me money. Give me money. Dámelo. Dale. Give me the money. That's what they did. Okay? That's what happened. Dámelo. Dale. Dale.
98. In Cold War, you had the MAC-10, the FAMAS, the Krieg, the MP5 again. There was the LC-10, the Swiss. There were so many guns with so many identities, and they were all, some of them guns obviously have been in the game before, but they had a different identity to them. And I think Call of Duty thrives when you actually know, like, the gun names, when they're actually real, and you make you...
They can't use the names anymore, bro. They can't use the design anymore.
Rather than, hey, here's the Reddit to do gun, and it's just some sort of made-up version of the whatever.
They have to.
It's just like, we need real guns, and again, they don't need to be remakes. We've used all those. Let's find new ones that we can use, and same thing with maps. It's like... we got Hijacked and Raid, and that's cool, and they play really well in BO7, but I want new maps, and this has been a struggle with the last couple Call of Duties. Really, the only Call of Duty that I think did well in terms of new maps was MW3, but you have to you hope they would make a couple new maps because their entire map pool was MW2. So it's really been since, I don't even know what Call of Duty you could tell, where it had great launch maps, and they didn't rely on remasters as well. So BO7 has decent maps, but there's 3 of them that are, already been used. So I think you just have to give nostalgia a break. You got to go 1 year without, maybe part of your new season or season pass brings back a gun or something. But on the rip, on day 1, there should be no remastered maps. There should be no guns that have been in previous Call of Duties that look exactly the same. And the story should be brand new. And I think that's a very simple...
They might do that in the future, but they can't use old guns anymore.
Same game if you got to. Now, actually, I got another one that I want to put in here, but I have another one after. Actually, I have one more. I'll be quick on this one, but stop copying other games.
Completely agree.
We don't need you to mimic Overwatch. We don't need you to mimic Fortnite. We don't need you to mimic Arc Raiders. Yes, Arc Raiders is popular right now. I don't know if we need a DMZ mode. I don't think that's the move. Now, I think that's what they're doing in MU4, but I don't think that that's going to be the answer for Call of Duty people. Fortnite, they've tried to copy with the Battle Pass and wacky skin.
I agree with 90% of what he's saying here, but I disagree with the DMZ thing. DMZ is meant to bank on the extraction shooter market. I disagree because Endgame is, and I have never played Endgame. I'm speaking as a guy who had never played Endgame so far, and I feel like That is the best place to rank up your weapons. That's the best place to experiment with your weapons. That's the best place to get used to the movement, the sliding and jumping and gameplay mechanics, all that kind of thing. Endgame is one of the best things that came to Call of Duty so far. Um, and I have never played it. I watched gameplay of it, and I feel like that is basically what they wanted to do with Warzone somehow. I feel like that's what they wanted to do with Warzone 2.0. A casual game, a casual battle royale game. But I agree with mostly what he said here.
And that didn't work. And Overwatch was like BO4 back in the day with, 5v5 and abilities, and that didn't work out. It's like, guys, here's your formula right here. You did it. You were the greatest game of all time for like 7 years in a row. This is your formula. Just go back to it. Look what Battlefield did. They went back to what made them great, and it was good. It's not very hard, I promise. And I don't know why we're getting so complicated and so brain rot and so fast paced, and just relax. Just be Call of Duty. Be Call of Duty. And the last one that I want to go over, and this is probably something that they'll never do, but I think it might be time to take a year off. And this might go against my previous point, but I feel like a new Call of Duty could be something that we get every 2 years. I think part of the success of Battlefield right now is because they took off a while. When you think about it, Battlefield 2042 was not a very good Call of Duty, or not a very good Battlefield. And the one previous before that was Battlefield 5, which was people thought was okay as well. So the last great Battlefield was Battlefield 1. That's 2016. That is almost 10 years ago, guys. So when people say it's a return to form, they have not played a good Battlefield game in 9 to 10 years. If Call of Duty had 9 years,
I somewhat agree here. I do a little bit agree that they should take a year off, but Activision, the company itself, the greatest strength that Activision has is the power of the three major developer rotation. So they have Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and then Sledgehammer. Infinity Ward, Modern Warfare. Treyarch, Black Ops. And then the third one would be a new franchise, which they experimented with Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, which is a Infinity War game, but my point is the same. What I'm saying is they need to go back to the three developer rotation and stop doing this two game back to back model. No, just focus on this, and then maybe take a 1 year off for them to have like breathing room to do this, and then in that gap year do a remaster like he's about to say.
to make a video game, it's probably going to be the best game of all time. Now, I don't think that's not the weight that I think we're going to be able to do. But what if the solution is, one game, one brand new game every other year, and that filler year is a remaster? I don't know what. Now, I know we're not trying to sell nostalgia. I've said that. But I think the way Call of Duty 4 did it, they did it so well, the remaster, that why can't we give these dev teams more time to like settle in, make new content, make great stuff, and then in between it's a year of like, hey, World at War remastered, Black Ops 1 remastered, MW2 remastered, and Black Ops 2 remastered. And I even take a Ghost remastered at this point. That's like 6 years. So we would have 6 remasters to go alongside 6 new titles, and that would be 12 years from now. That would be 2037. I would be like 45 years old. So there's plenty of stuff that you can go back. Instead of doing these little one-off like maps and stuff, do a game and then give us a brand new game after it. And rotate them. Or you could just give us a Halo Master Chief collection of Call of Duty, the Golden Age, and I think update it with new content every once in a while, and I think a lot of us would be happy for the rest of our lives. So either way, I think there's money to be made. I think a lot of people, Call of Duty must think that they need to release a new title every year to make money. It's not working anymore. That method of making games every year is not working. It's becoming like a Madden situation, and people are burning.
I agree with that too.
Don't want to play the game anymore. But that said, am I still enjoying the new Call of Duty? I am. Is there a lot of work to be done? Yes. Am I willing to put some opinions out there with my channel? You better believe it. So let me know what you guys think about this video. I know I've been doing a lot of these, but I kind of want to give my thoughts of what's happening in the world and in the COD scene, alongside what I see that could be done to be better. So hope you enjoy. If you did, leave a like, comment what your thoughts are, what you'd like to see Call of Duty do. I do know for a fact that developers watch my videos, so maybe they'll read these comments and maybe they'll go, yeah, I like where your head's at. I like where you guys, the community's at. So anyway, sorry for coughing a bunch during this video. Hopefully my editor will trim it out. But rant is over, and thanks for enjoying the walking and talking videos. We'll do more of those soon. But all right, I'm gonna go enjoy my Sunday. We'll see you next time. All right, Cole.
All right, so I'll finish with not again over here. This guy right here. I'll see you in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Thanksgiving here in America, and I was going to take the day off, but then Exclusive Ace dropped a little bit of a video yesterday that might be changing the landscape of Black Ops 7. I honestly feel like Michael Scott, if you've ever seen The Office, he goes, snip, snap, snip, snap. That is me. If everybody, people always comment down below, it's like, this dude is loving Call of Duty one day, and then the next day, he's absolutely hating it. And I would say I'm never hating it, but there's just some decisions where I'm like, Call of Duty, can we just have one day without a disaster or whatever it is? The little chart that people put on at their workplace, like 0 days or 5 days until there was a safety issue. We can't seem to have a week without having something nice in Call of Duty anymore. So yes, we're gonna have a little bit of a rant video on Thanksgiving. And listen, if you want to have a joyous time and enjoy your wonderful meal with family, you might want to not watch this. But I would actually recommend watching it, because I do have a question for you guys at the end of this video that I need to get your opinions on. So let's talk about, let's dive into the subject here. And this is a very, very hot topic in Call of Duty, at least in the last couple years, especially with this Call of Duty in general, because it was advertised as not having it, or at least we thought so. So there has been a debate. Skill-based matchmaking. Many of you probably know this word just from YouTubers spamming it every 5 seconds, me included, and that is skill-based matchmaking. And that pretty much pairs you up with people of your skill level, so you don't get, destroyed, or you don't kind of just destroy. It's like they just want to keep you at that like 1 KD where you're just average. You just go 20 and 15 or 20 and 17, and the score is 75 to 7.
So, for those of you who don't know what skill-based matchmaking is, or EOMM, which is engage optimized matchmaking. So you have 2 systems. One is SBMM and the other one is EOMM. Skill-based matchmaking, engage optimized matchmaking. Okay? That's what we're talking about in this video, this part of the video. So,
and it just keeps you on the game, and it's just very optimized. And people feel like they've been on like a rat running on a wheel type of situation since MW19. It feels like we're in some sort of experiment, and people are just, frankly, they're tired of it, and they've been leaving Call of Duty because of it. Well, here comes Black Ops 7, as we know. I'm not giving you any new information here, but the beta, because of some other games, let's be honest, Battlefield and Arc Raiders and all that, they had to announce that they are limiting skill-based matchmaking. It is going to be a limited time of thing. It's not going. It's going away, but not fully. So they announced that in the beta, and everybody really enjoyed the beta. People were loving the beta. It was very fun. It felt very classic Call of Duty. You would stomp on some lobbies, and then you would kind of get, you know, some what do you call that? Like lobbies where you had to try hard because there was a sweat in the lobby, and it felt very reminiscent of that old school golden age of Call of Duty. Well, once the game came out, people were kind of reporting that things felt different. A lot of creators, a lot of people on Twitter, not just creators, because I know you're going to go, it's just creators complaining about something. It was not just creators. It's actually probably a lot of you that are in my comments going, something's felt different since launch. And this brings us to current day. Exclusive Ace, as probably many of you know, many watch his videos.
Activision was hoping that you wouldn't notice. Activision was hoping you were stupid enough to not even notice that you're being manipulated in the skill-based matchmaking, or EOMM, engage optimized matchmaking. They were hoping that you wouldn't notice it. They would hope, Activision hopes that you would sweep it under the rug as they pulled the rug out from your feet, because they moved the servers so it feels smoother, but the problem is they feel manipulated to play the game a certain way and feel like the game is rigged against you. Okay? They would hope you wouldn't notice it, but we do. Okay? And that's the problem. You can't be treating us like an idiot, guys. You can't be treating people like they're stupid.
Very smart, very informative, does a lot of testing, knows what he's talking about when it comes to Call of Duty and Battlefield. He decided to go over this skill-based matchmaking debate, I guess you would call it, because again, some people are having this experience where they're getting absolutely torched, and then there's people that are having the experience that they're just like, it's old school Call of Duty on the full launch. So to summarize his video, and go watch it too, because he did a phenomenal job. He has a bot account where he does like testing of stuff, and then he has his real account, and he played 10 games on each account. I think 5 or 10 on each account. And what he found was that ping was not the king. Okay, so we obviously say ping is king. That was an old phrase back in the day, because instead of skill-based matchmaking, ping would determine who you got matched up with. So like, I live in Maryland. There were people there. I would be playing people in Baltimore and, you know, PA and what's another state nearby? Virginia, because it was getting us in this same server rather than like, hey, you're playing somebody. Why am I playing somebody in California? Well, you guys are the same skill. So on his bot account, his ping I think was like 20 or 25, and then on his legit account, where I guess he camo grinds and takes it more serious and upgrades guns, I think it was getting like 60. So pretty much to summarize what had been happening is, he does not think that ping is king in Black Ops 7, and skill-based has been introduced I guess a little bit more than maybe was advertised. Now, I want to say this, and I'm not defending Call of Duty at all in this circumstance. The playlist does say skill is minimally considered. It doesn't say skill is not considered. So when I go into my lobbies, I'm not looking for a guppy lobby every single time where the people have no thumbs and they're just walking around looking like this. I mean, some of the clips you see on the internet, you're like, is that guy in a private lobby? Because he might be. So I was never going into this game expecting that. Maybe that's part of the reason that this is such a big deal, is people read minimal skill-based matchmaking as no skill-based matchmaking. And that is kind of on the player's fault, and I think
no. No. It's manipulation, Tyler. It's manipulation. They're trying to say, oh, it's minimal, guys. We're not gonna make skill-based matchmaking strong it off, you know? Just buy our game, bro. Just buy our game. And then when you buy it, that's why I waited to buy Black Ops 7, because I knew they were gonna do this. Me, I saw this on my own way, bro. You think I'm here playing Call of Duty and not notice it? Oh my god. I'm not stupid. None of my people are stupid, bro. Come on.
It's not gone. It's just minimally considered. So through his findings, I mean, at this point, I have to go over two things. One, I want to go over my lobbies real quick. I have experienced. You know, I said that the other creators were kind of saying that they had experienced like super sweaty lobbies. They're in this different world. I've only experienced that a few times. Now, I'm going to throw some sort of wild conspiracy theory out there. The people that were doing this, that are saying that they're having issues with lobbies, are like the swags of the world. And Swag is going on a master prestige grind. Like, he wants to be master prestige. Optic was doing this as well. They were going on a master prestige grind. And they said the same thing. Their lobbies were crazy. And I believe them. I've watched some of their lobbies. They are insane. So they were grinding to level 1000. They're master prestige. They're getting this different game. I haven't prestiged yet. Okay, listen. I know you're gonna give me some flack here in the comments. It is what it is. I have not prestige. I've been just doing the camo grind. Like, my brain can only focus on one thing at a time. So I'm not going to be doing camo grinds for multiple weapons, and then on top of that, I'm going to be prestiging and doing all this, and it ain't gonna happen. I have a little conspiracy theory that maybe once you prestige in this game, maybe the game classifies you as a more expert player and maybe throws you into another bracket of players. Whereas if you're just level 55, they're like, oh, this guy's more of a casual. He's just kind of hanging out. He's doing the camera grind. He's chilling. And they don't put you in that level.
That doesn't help either. That's dumping down the oh my god, dude, seriously, it's so ridiculous. I know what he's saying, but the thing is, doing that is, and that's not my experience either, because sometimes as a player, when I'm ranked 22 in the beta, I still see a prestige somehow or higher ranked, and I don't feel the same experience. I feel like when we're matchmaking, we're getting variety of different kinds of players, but the thing is, in the beta we can only get up to 55, and I feel like I've been matched with people who are higher than me in the bracket. By the end of the beta, I was able to get to level 22, I guess. But what I'm saying is, when you're on the bottom, um, you're probably getting the. I, I don't think I got this experience that he's talking about. So when you're in skill-based matchmaking, you're still gonna get matched with prestige players, even though that you're level 55. Maybe he's experiencing something different, but I don't see this. I don't see this. I've been playing the game for a while now, for a long time actually. So I don't see this. I don't see this.
Telling you, if you were to watch some of my streams, we did a camo grind stream yesterday. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, by the way. That's a plug. I didn't mean to plug for it, but hey, Tdawgsmitty on Twitch. We were doing camo grinds. We were playing free for all. We were playing hardcore. Dude, some of the lobbies that I was in, I was winning 30 to 12. 30 to 12 in a free for all. So I'm not experiencing these.
To be fair, I've also been watching live streams from folks like the Rick, Fooly, Swag. I hate to admit it, but hey, you gotta watch everything so you can collect data. So I don't see this. So yeah. Sometimes I see prestige, sometimes I see 55, sometimes it goes all over the place.
Game mode you're playing, maybe. You know, I see a lot of these guys playing hardpoint and domination. Dude, hardpoint is a competitive game mode. It is played by CDL pros. It is not played by Frank coming home from construction. He's playing TDM, free for all, maybe so.
I agree. Hardcore playlists are not meant for the casuals. I swear to you, it's not for the casuals. The casuals, they want to play relaxed gameplay. They wanna come back from work, sit down, play the game, not worry about skill-based matchmaking. So we've been saying to Call of Duty, just make. I don't know why skill-based matchmaking is in casual playlists. I don't know why. I know why. I mean, they want to sell you weapons. They want to sell you the battle pass so you can get all these items and all that kind of jazz. But being in a skill-based matchmaking bracket does not encourage you to buy the game. There's no like arrows that tell you go buy this, go buy that, go do this, go that, go do this, go do it, go do that, and go get there, go that. Bro, skill-based matchmaking is not meant to do that. It's meant to keep you in the game, stay in the game. At least that's what Treyarch, Infinity Ward, I'll get to Infinity Ward later because the creator of skill-based matchmaking is Olsen. Olsen says, "Oh, Call of Duty had skill-based matchmaking since Call of Duty 4. We were testing at skill-based matchmaking, guys. It was pathetic. Pathetic. I don't believe you for 1 second. I don't believe you for 1 second.
Search, maybe, 10v10 probably, but they're not playing these demolition modes, domination, hardpoint. Like, I think part of the problem is too they're focused on those modes.
Demolition and hardpoint are great modes. No. Anybody can play those modes. It's the hardcore modes that is more hardcore. It's like one shot kill, and if you throw a bomb, um, you might kill your own teammates, and it's not for the casuals, guys. It's not. It's not for the casuals.
And they're such sweaty modes. So I have not experienced this. I have experienced great lobbies. This is not some sort of shill thing, because before I get that comment, let's go to my next point. And that is Treyarch. The point of this video is this needs to be addressed. Treyarch has come out and said there's limited SBMM. They've done pretty good jobs of kind of communicating with us. It's time to do it again, okay? When Exclusive Ace makes a video about it and proves your point the opposite of what you've been saying, you gotta say something, okay? So what I would recommend doing, obviously it's Thanksgiving, there won't be today.
I also agree with that too, but they're not going to do so because those people are narcissists, egotistical people. They shouldn't be, but that's what they are. Infinity Ward feels like their ego is so big that they are untouchable. They think that they can influence Activision to make skill-based matchmaking the big elephant of the room in Call of Duty. Infinity Ward has been sabotaging Activision for as long as possible because there's a civil war that is going on inside two companies. Two companies, really. Okay? Sledgehammer Games and Infinity Ward. Because at the time of Black Ops 6 development, and it shows in Vanguard, okay? So, Infinity Ward and was telling Activision to put skill-based matchmaking into all Call of Duty games starting from now. So, when they were developing Vanguard, there were big fighting over the creative of Call of Duty that year, and it shows in the quality of Vanguard that year. It follows up with Cold War. It follows up with Modern Warfare 3 2023. And it got worse in 2023 with Modern Warfare 3. So in that game, when the game was coming out, it's a lot of content creators already covered this, so I don't need to repeat what they said, but I'm gonna do a synopsis of what happened, okay? So, during Modern Warfare 3 2023 development, the season development, so there was like a lot of battles between Raven Software, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer was doing all the social media communication because that's their game. So when they do updates for Modern Warfare 3 2023, what they were doing is every update that they released, they Infinity Ward reversed what Sledgehammer was doing, and Sledgehammer had to do more updates to reverse what they were doing. It was like ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, back and forth, back and forth. So the communication on social media is that um, um, Infinity Ward was the reason why our skill-based matchmaking, which is Sledgehammer was not trying to do the skill-based matchmaking thing, but Infinity Ward said, "Hey, putting it back in there," and then Activision came in like a referee and said, "They're the boss. You better put it in there, or you're fired." So they quit. Sledgehammer quit. So what is left of Sledgehammer today is not the same one in Modern Warfare 3 2023. That's what happened. So when we're talking about skill-based matchmaking, we're talking about Infinity Ward sabotaging Activision and then Activision sabotaging Call of Duty. That's what was happening. That's what we're dealing with right now. So my suggestion to anybody that is listening: don't get Infinity Ward's next game. Do not do it, because they're the ones that said, do this, do that. We're the skill-based matchmakers. We're the ones that made it. We're the ones that designed it. All because of ego. They think that inside Infinity Ward's brand, which is, you didn't create Infinity Ward, so you shouldn't have that ego, but you do have the ego because you're taking advantage of the Infinity Ward brand power to do what you want for Call of Duty. But you're sabotaging Call of Duty in ways that destroys the brand. And Microsoft is letting it happen because, like I said in the tweet, Modern Warfare 4, whatever it's going to be called, will be released and it will bomb. That's my prediction. That's not a prediction. That's not a spoiler. That's not a prediction. It is going to happen. It's a spoiler. It's I'm referencing Paul Heyman, okay? It he says it like this. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Because every time he says that, Brock Lesnar wins the match every single time. It's like he's the Oracle. So, yeah, that's his nickname today. Yeah. That's not a prediction. That's the spoiler. So, don't do it. Anyway, let's go.
Probably won't be Friday. They probably have a long weekend. Monday or Tuesday, they gotta come out. Can we just get this stupid matchmaking explained to us and not some sort of long article like they tried to do a couple years back where it's like, here's the blueprint of how we do it. Just break it down for us. Simple. I'm stupid. I'm a video game player. I play Call of Duty. I'm losing brain cells every time I play. I need... What is the priority? Okay? What percentage are we talking about? Okay, is it connection 50% and skill 50%? Is it skill 75 and connection 25? Let's dumb it down for people like myself, where I can go into a lobby and go, okay, skill is minimally considered, but it is only minimally considered for 30% of the matchmaking. The rest is going to be skill, and I need to be aware of that. Also, is there little pockets of things that, like what I'm talking about? Is there prestige? Does that make something change inside the skill? Does getting a max camo change something in the matchmaking? Does what mode you play change something in the matchmaking? Does hours played change something in the matchmaking? I'm just spitballing here at this point. But something is something is off. We're just not. We just need to simplify how we're telling people what's going on in this game. And to me, Exclusive Ace knows what he's talking about. So, with all this to say, obviously the minimal consider thing is something that it's not no skill based. No skill based does not exist. There is skill based within the game. Exclusive Ace proved it. People are having different experiences. Somebody needs to explain that. And what is minimally considered mean? I know it means minimally considered, but what is that? What are we talking about? You know, what is the ratio compared to connection, if that makes sense? So they need to address that. I think a blog post, I think Matt coming out that's been doing the videos has been doing a great job. I think if he could come out and say something and be like, hey, here's how we do it. Very simple instructions, bada bing, bada boom. So, I mean, for me, I know I told you guys.
They won't do that. Because that would expose the matchmaking system. They patent the skill-based matchmaking. They patent the thing. They want this thing to be like a casino thing. They don't care about customer service. They don't care about this. I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's what they're gonna do. They're too egotistical to be doing that. They're too prideful to do it. If they do, I'll be surprised. But at this point, the way I see it, marketing guy and all, if I'm them and I have this egotistical, narcissist attitude, my first thing is swallow the pride and keep on trucking. They're just not going to listen. That's how egotistical, that's how stubborn they are. We are now 6 years since Modern Warfare 2019. They haven't stopped doing the skill-based matchmaking thing. They haven't learned a single thing. They had not learned their lesson. They had not learned a single thing with this game. And the worst part is, this is what's happening. With Modern Warfare 4, the rumored Modern Warfare 4, what they're trying to do is reset the whole engine. That's what they said. To really work seamlessly for the next 5 years. So any game that comes after Modern Warfare 4, hey, those games have to go through that engine. So that engine will be the engine going forward. The other rumor is it's shipping with whatever this Xbox PC console is. It's shipping with whatever next generation console there is, like PlayStation 6, Steam machine, Nintendo Switch 2, whatever. Because that's what it is. That's what I'm saying.
Guys, I wanted to ask you guys a question at the end. My question for you is simple. Are you experiencing easier lobbies? Are you getting easier lobbies? Is your game a sweat fest? And before you type, everybody's a sweat my lobby. Just listen. If you're not the greatest player, that just might be what it is. There's going to be better players, and it is what it is. But are you actually getting some? Are your lobbies 50-50? Like you get a good lobby, then a bad lobby. It's kind of like old school Call of Duty. So let me know in the comments of that. And then one more thing. I've been doing the camo grind and all that good stuff. And obviously Black Ops 7 content is kind of like weird. Like people only watch Black Ops 7 if you're like super complaining, just to be honest. So I don't want to always be that. I've said it in multiple videos. I want to talk and I want to give my opinion on stuff and I want to give a positive spin to it. So again, I think what they're doing is not right. Like, I think you need to come out and say like what's going on, and that will be good. So it's like
they won't do it though.
Negative that this is happening, but I think a positive.
Tyler, they won't do it.
We're communicating like, hey, what's the situation? So with all that to say, content-wise, let me know below too what you want to see. Like, do you want to continue for me to do the camo grind? Do you want me to go back to some old school Call of Duties? I know people have been itching for me to play some old campaigns again, which I don't mind doing. And also, second channel is back, baby. I know I've said it 50 times. I know. 50 times I've said it. But this time it's real. And there's going to be a Witcher video coming out very soon. So let me know some other games that you want me to play in the comments down below. Because I'm excited to try that. I think that there's a time and a place for Call of Duty, and I love it. And there's a time and a place to kind of grow and expand a little bit. And I think right now it's not a bad play for me to do that. Anyway, that's a little bit of a rant, but I know some of you guys actually care, so I want to say that. But thank you all for the support on the channel. We've been doing great despite Black Ops 7 being kind of down bad. I've been enjoying camo grinding. I've been enjoying hanging out, chatting with you guys. And I know I know the rants, some of you guys don't really enjoy them, but I think it's with the size of my channel, I need to be able to be vocal and tell Call of Duty.
Keep doing it, Tyler. Keep doing it.
Do it in a constructive way. So I'm going to continue to do that, and if it's not your
Don't
thing,
worry about these haters.
video, and I'll be back to playing the Call of Duty in tomorrow's upload. So everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to go eat everything but the turkey. Hope you enjoy, and go Ravens. Well, ladies and...
Well, my final thoughts is they won't do it. I mean, they're too proud. Okay? So, this is gonna be a very hard next few years for Call of Duty. That'll be all for this video. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Comment on the video. Share the video. Do all that jazz. I'll see you guys later. Stay awesome.